Found out just how important the job of hospital radio host really is.
But have we got what it takes to be on the same wavelength as the real professionals? Get it? Wavelength?
It's time for us to be hospital radio hosts.
So your challenge today is to take over the airwaves for 10 minutes each.
And then we want to see how you handle a special guest.
Right, this should be trivial. And I have a special guest in mind who I think will give me an enormous advantage.
I don't have a guest. Where am I going to get a guest?
Better go find a guest.
I have a professional DJ as my guest.
It's Radio 1 Extra DJ Yasmin Evans.
And I am going to thrash Dr. Xand as a result.
Not so fast, Chris. Meet the judges. They're tuned in, ready to pick a winner. Who's the best? They decide.
Bring it on. I'll go first.
What time is it?
It's Dr. Chris Hospital Radio's #1 Operation Ouch-based show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dr. Chris Show. I have with me Yasmin Evans. How are you, Yasmin?
I'm very well. How are you?
I thought I'd been really clever inviting you along because you could really help me out. And
Yes.
in fact, it's just piled and piled on the pressure. My first go as a DJ. I'm going to hit play. I'm going to turn these up. And now we can hear Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber. We're talking over it.
Can they still hear us?
They can take us down.
Oops. I wonder if anyone noticed. It's a good job Yasmin's here.
This is a nightmare. Chris has already got a guest and I don't have one. Where am I going to get a guest at such short notice?
Okay, I'm going to try and work the screen. I'm sorry, everyone listening.
I hope I'm not losing the judges.
That's Nick Jonas.
That's Nick Jonas.
Ah,
Hold on.
there's so many buttons.
I got that.
Thank goodness Xand still doesn't have a guest.
Hang on, I've spotted someone. It's Laverne the housekeeper.
Can I stop you cleaning? Will you be a guest on my radio show?
Oh, I'll think of it.
You'll be all right?
Yep.
Come on then, come with me.
Okay.
Off we go.
Phew, just in the nick of time.
And for all the judges out there, I guess I want to leave you with the thought.
How much better this has been than Dr. Xand.
It's going to be. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Bye. I must say that it's phenomenally stressful. Give me 5.
Beat that, Xand. Over to you.
Hey everybody, it's Dr. Xand. Oh.
One thing's for sure, I'll give it a go. It's time for Dr. Xand's amazing radio show!
This is Dr. Xand, and let me tell you, I'm gonna make your eardrums burst. No, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, that'd be bad. I'm gonna give you dandruff. How about that?
See, Chris? I can be funny.
If you say so.
We have an incredible guest, the world famous, the one, the only, Laverne Lodrick. Laverne, how you doing?
Hi there, Doctor. Good evening.
I'm gonna play some relaxing music. How's that going?
The judges wanted singing.
Cause I can't give it to you. Cause I don't give it to you.
Yes, but you are 100% embarrassing.
Now, what's the food like in the hospital?
Well, I've never tasted the patient food.
Never stolen food off a poorly child.
No.
That's a
wonderful.
bad thing to do. I tell you what, I have done that occasionally.
What? You can't do that.
You're wonderful. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Time to admit defeat, Chris. Let's get the verdict.
So, guys, tell us who the winner is.
4-1 in your face.
You love me. You really do love me.
So, judges, what did you like about my show?
It was a little bit more funny. Well, it wasn't really you, it was more of your special guest.
Ha! You got lucky, Xand.
Well, we've seen just how important the job of radio hosts like Dom and Chaminda are to the running of the hospital.
And although I did a lot better than you, according to the listening public, I think it is best left to the experts.
Have the headphones back, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Today's hospital hero is London Air Ambulance pilot Captain Neil Jeffers.
And we're going to meet him.
Well, Chris is late. I've got no idea where he is at all, but Captain Neil is not going to be pleased, and this is a little bit embarrassing.
There's Xandy.
Where is he? Come on, Chris.
Oh, it's a shame he's missed this. Probably should have told him about it.
The helicopter's here. The blades have stopped turning, and it's safe to approach.
Ah, hi, Xand. Sorry you missed that.
It really is the only way to travel. I'm going to start getting a helicopter to work a bit more often.
This is outrageous!
Air ambulances are incredible. This service in London helps around 2,000 patients every year, and the pilots are essential when it comes to their rescue.
So, we don't normally think of pilots as being part of a medical team. How do you fit in?
Our job is to get the medical team to the patient as quickly as we possibly can. And being driven around London, the average speed is maybe 5 miles an hour. A helicopter can fly at about 150 miles an hour in a straight line.
Getting to a medical emergency quickly is difficult enough, but landing there can be even trickier.
This is the onboard medical team, Dr. Anna Dobby and paramedic Steve Reed.
No one appreciates the role of the pilot more than them.
So it's not an easy job getting this helicopter where it needs to be.
Landing spaces can be parks, can be roads, so the pilots try and get us as close to the scene as possible.
These guys, they are so calm. Landed in school playgrounds, on the M25. Their training just makes them absolutely amazing under pressure.
We've seen just how important the air ambulance is to the running of a big hospital.
But will our careers as pilots take off? Get it? Get it?
Today, I'm going to be flying the twin-engine Performance Class 1 MD-902.
Really? I just call mine Barry.
Your takeover challenge is to fly your helicopter and land it as safely and as close to the patient as you possibly can. The pressure's on. This patient is critical.
Ah! It's Mini Zand! And he's grazed his knee!
Quick, Chris, to the choppers.
Because there's been a patient trapped beneath the car. There are 2 potential landing sites. One is right next to the patient in a complicated school site, or there's a bigger field a bit further away. So the choice is whether they land in a complicated site or land in a big field and let your doctors and paramedics walk to the patient.
We're off. Zand's up first.
Right, he's got it airborne. We don't want it to go too close to the river in this case.
Zand, you're going a little bit high.
Come back! Come back!
I'm sure that's not quite the way he wanted to go. It's now over the river.
Right, forward. No, fly backwards, fly backwards.
I've lost control! Ah!
That didn't go all that well. And meanwhile, poor Mini Zand is still exsanguinating all over the floor.
Mini Zand! You've got to rescue him now, Chris. You're his only hope.
I will go and get Mini Zand. Leave this to me.
Going the right direction. This has promise.
Oh, it is difficult, isn't it?
Oh, keep it down! Keep it down! Keep it down! Get it down! Get it down! No.
Hold on, we just need to recover that.
Chris is persevering.
What are you doing?
I certainly would be looking at landing in the grass area.
Yeah. Yes! Yes!
You landed on top of Mini Zand. Now, although I said to get as close as we possibly can, that's probably just a little too close on top of the patient in this case. Chris, I applaud your determination, and I did say land as close to the patient as you possibly could, but after many attempts you landed on the patient, probably committing more damage than Zand.
I think this is a case of who's less rubbish.
So, today's winner is Zand.
Ah!
Well, I'm very surprised by that. I guess if I've learned one thing, it's the importance of the air ambulance pilots in the running of a big hospital.
Neil, I think it's time we give our helicopter back. Our one remaining helicopter.
Today's hospital heroes are porters Robbie and Robbie.
The 2 Robbies are part of a whole squad of people who keep everything in the hospital moving, from the patients themselves to vital medical equipment.
Right, so guys, we're going to spend the day as porters with you.
Yeah.
What's the number one thing we mustn't get wrong today?
We mustn't fall asleep on the job.
Zand!
What?
Sorry, Robbie. Sorry, Robbie.
Next time, he's sacked.
Yeah.
Apart from not falling asleep on the job, what's the most important thing about being a porter?
Making the patients feel as comfortable as possible.
Everyone's nervous going to hospital. I think we help to put the kids at ease and the parents at ease. We'll talk to them, entertain them, and then ask them what do they want for the first meal when they wake up. Do they want snot on toast?
I love snot on toast.
It's snot funny for long, Zand. The Robbies want to see if we're up to the job.
OK, I'm ready. I'm ready.
2, 1, forward. No, you said forwards.
Okay, all right, but walk backwards then.
Okay, you ready? 1,
3, 2, 1, go.
I'm not going to get a job. Useless.
We do need some practice.
It's vital for porters to know the hospital inside out. And with a combined 32 years of experience, these two reckon they can do the job with their eyes shut.
Well, let's put it to the test.
So the question is, does Robbie know his way around this hospital blindfold with earplugs in?
There's no way he'll know what ward we've taken him to.
Chris, we're getting 2. So before we take off the blindfold, tell us where you think you are.
Judging by the doors that had to be opened, I'd say 4C.
Wow, that is pretty good, actually.
The Robbies made that look easy.
But it's not just knowing your way around the hospital, it's about looking after the patients.
9-year-old Megan has been in and out of hospital since she was 3.5, so she knows a good porter when she sees one.
So you've just come down from upstairs. What was your experience with the porters? Because you're the real porter expert.
Really good.
We're about to have our portering exam. So what do you think, what would be like 3 bits of advice you'd give us about being the best porters we can be?
Make sure you know where you're going. Don't crash into anything. And entertain the person.
Great advice, Megan. We definitely need it.
It's time for us to take over as hospital porters.
I can't believe I've got to wear blue.
We're about to find out who's better at portering, and I have to say I'm ready to put this issue to bed once and for all. I mean, if you think you're going to win, you're off your trolley.
Our challenge is to go from this examination room to Theatre 1 in the quickest time possible.
It normally takes us a maximum of 4 minutes.
I think this sounds relatively straightforward. Where is Theatre 1?
Got no idea.
That's right, there'll be a sign. We'll figure it out. It must be around here somewhere.
Right, Chris, you're up first.
Go, 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 go! Come on, Chris.
Forgotten something?
The what? The brakes.
Come on, clever clogs. Aren't you worried your patient is going to fall out of bed?
Oh, the danger.
So, right, so the first thing is I want to engage in some friendly banter.
You? Banter?
Oh, this isn't going well.
Didn't think so.
Well, I go one way, Xand's gone the other.
All right, theatres.
Yeah, he's going the wrong way for a start.
Already lost, Xand?
There's nothing on the sign.
Time for some patient entertainment.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Europe.
Europe who?
No, Europe who?
Embarrassing, Chris.
Well, yeah, but at least I've not gone to the basement.
Oh no, there's no one here. Miles away.
So now what are we going to do?
I'm feeling a bit dizzy.
Okay. I've just got to get it under control.
Seems to be going all over the place.
I've lost my shit completely. What am I doing? Come on.
Looks like we're finally getting close, or at least I am. Ugh! This is like an obstacle course. Oops. But I'm on the home straight.
Ow, ouch, ouch.
Hot on your heels, Chris.
Sorry about that. Hello, here we are.
Ta-da! I've definitely won this.
I don't think so.
Victory is mine.
There's only one way to settle it.
One of yous was 4.5 minutes faster than the other one. And the winner is Dr. Chris.
9 minutes, 28 seconds, in your face.
Whatever.
It takes us on average.
One person who knows just what it's like to be on the other end of the phone is 7-year-old Hannah, who dialed 999 to help her sister Amy.
And this is Nurse Chris and call handler Lisa, who helped her through it.
Ambulance service, tell me exactly what's happened.
Well, my sister has gone funny. She can't see anything. She's got really pale.
I'm going to pass you through to one of our clinicians, all right?
Quick, come in.
Hannah, it's Chris. I'm a nurse at the ambulance service, and I would like you to ask Mummy to lie your sister down on the floor with her feet up on something.
She needs to lie flat with her feet up on something. She's going a bit red.
Good. Well, the ambulance are there now to help make your sister better, all right? How old are you, sweetheart?
I'm 7.
Well done.
It turned out Amy had a virus, and she made a total recovery.
Wow, what an amazing call.
Was it difficult making the phone call?
Yeah. I was really scared. I was literally standing there and shaking like mad.
You didn't sound nervous at all. Chris, were you very surprised when you found out that Hannah was 7 years old?
Absolutely amazed, because she was actually, to be honest, a lot better than a lot of the adults that we speak to.
What do you think, Amy?
I don't think anyone would have done as good as she did.
If you ever need to make a 999 call like Hannah, here are the things you need to do.
Number 1, know your address or where you are.
Number 2, clearly describe what happened.
And number 3, keep calm and listen.
We've seen how the professionals do it. Time for us to take over as 999 call handlers. Our mission is to handle a major emergency.
Well, Xand, it's a fake call with Fiona and her mate Doris, who's a dummy.
Ooh, hello, Doris.
I'm just trying to get in the right frame of mind for this challenge and just practice my calm, reassuring voice. Ambulance! Police! What's happening?
Xand, you're doing this all wrong. Let me do it, okay? So you've got to stay calm, okay? Watch this.
That sounded pretty good,
That
actually.
sounded better.
I feel
So try it.
relaxed.
Yeah,
I feel good.
Okay, good.
I feel
All
good
right,
about that.
I think we're ready.
To help us, we have the 999 protocol book. This contains all the rules for giving medical help over the phone.
Oh, what can possibly go wrong?
Remember, never call 999 unless you have a genuine emergency.
Ambulance, tell me exactly what happened.
My friend is unconscious. She's not awake.
She's not awake.
What is the address of the emergency?
Swan Street.
Swan Street. Okay, thank you very much. Can you see if her chest is moving, or can you put your hand over her mouth?
My hand over her mouth.
Not sure that's going to help, Xand.
Okay, so I just need you to answer a few more questions.
Time wasting, Chris.
Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone and pump the chest hard and fast 30 times, twice per second.
Feeling the pressure, Xand?
Now I want you to place your hand on her forehead and put your other hand under his neck.
My friend is a girl.
Sorry.
Poor Doris.
There's an ambulance on the way. You're doing a
It's
really...
not working. He's not waking up. Help me.
This is a nightmare.
Stay calm and just focus on doing this properly. That's
The best thing you can do for your friend at the moment.
Nothing's happening. She's not waking up.
Please make the ambulance arrive.
Keep giving the breaths and keep giving the 30 pumps. There's an...
The ambulance is here. I'll go and let them in.
okay. Hand over the patient. Oh, they've hung up.
Nope, she's hung up on me. So that was extremely stressful. I have all the instructions written down. I know it's Fiona in the other room. I know it's not a real patient. And I made what I think was basically a complete mess of that.
What an amazing job.
Let's get the verdict.
I need to lie down.
3, 2, 1, vote.
What?
Sorry.
So what clinched it for Xand?
He got to CPR instructions much faster.
Right.
I mean, I still took possibly a fatally long time.
Well, both of you had quite big pauses within the call. In their, moment of need, gaps are not good.
I think it's best that we leave handling the 999 calls up to you guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Today we're meeting 3 heroes from the maintenance team, starting with engineer Adam.
The maintenance team keep everything in working order here at Alderhay.
Adam, what does that involve?
Everything from ventilation to anything in between, toilets, lights.
What's on the menu today?
The next job is a code brown.
Hang on a minute.
What's a code brown?
Well, you're about to find out.
I'm so jealous. Chris is getting to do a code brown. Whatever that is, he always gets all the best jobs.
This is a code brown.
Ooh, it's poo!
Oh, no.
It's not the most glamorous job, but it's got to be done, and you've got to keep the hospital operational.
Hold on a second. That looks like tea bags. Have you made up this code brown specially for me?
Well, we might have done, or someone's been eating tea bags.
Huh, nothing like a nice cup of tea, Chris. Ugh.
Okay, so show me how you unblock the toilet.
Put the plunger in, cover the hole.
Get to it, Chris.
You're giving it some, aren't you?
Stop leaving it all to Adam.
You're gonna...
Flush the test, and there you go.
Brilliant job. Very impressed.
You big wimp. Leaving the bowels of the building, there are plenty of jobs to do on the outside too, and one of them involves a secret weapon. Meet Jay, our second maintenance hero, and his Harris Hawk, Leo.
What is Leo's job at this hospital?
Basically, a deterrent to the pigeons. Queer's job is to stop the pigeons from living on site.
And why don't we want pigeons living on site?
We don't want them to be pooing into the filtration systems for the hospital.
Right.
Obviously, it's a sterile environment and we want to keep it clean.
So you don't want poo in your air conditioning system?
That would definitely be a code brown, Xand.
Jay releases Leo to fly around the hospital. As a bird of prey, he scares off the pigeons and other birds so they disappear sharpish.
OK, here he comes. Wow.
Now it's my turn, and I'm a little nervous.
I actually feel genuinely quite terrified. He's going to land on my hand, we hope.
Well done, Xand.
He obviously likes you.
This is completely magical. I think you've got the best job in the world, Jay. Good job, Leo.
Now it's time for the challenge with our third maintenance hero, Ian. Ian, tell us what our challenge is.
For today's takeover challenge, we're going to head to the roof.
The roof at Alder Hay is a 24-metre-high eco-roof, full of wild flowers, and just like other gardens, this one needs to be weeded.
It's a very special roof, and it needs maintaining in a very special way, and that's via abseil.
Yikes!
To make it a fair challenge, Ian has planted 5 dead flowers for us to collect, whilst lowering ourselves down on special safety ropes. He who collects the most flowers wins.
It's head-to-head extreme gardening.
OK, let's get ready.
We need the right gear and the right skills.
Ian and his team do this all the time, but we have to learn the ropes to keep us safe on the steep and highly dangerous slopes of the hospital roof.
Old Dr. Xand is just going to have to rise to the occasion. I think I'm going to come out of this smelling of roses.
Xand, Bruce, this way. Not a good start.
I'm off, and let me tell you, I know a thing or two about flowers.
Well, look at that, there's some red campion. You don't see that very often. There's a couple of ribwort plantain. Of course, that's a perennial herb found all over the UK. Oh, no! I've missed one! No! Got to pay more attention.
Right, now it's my turn.
Ready?
My plan is to focus and get the job done.
Lock it off.
This is easy. That's my first one in the bag.
Next flower.
And my second is not far behind. What about you, Xand?
I've got my first one. There's no stopping me now.
2 down. And hello, flower number 3.
Hang on, Xand. I'm right behind you. Focus. Focus. Ha-ha! I'm storming ahead now. One more to find.
Some knapweed, a few cornflowers. Oh, I almost missed that one.
I really need Chris to miss his final flower.
Too late, I've done it.
I think I can still win. Surely Ian will be impressed with my flower knowledge.
Let's see, shall we?
Ian, how did we do?
There's got to be the man that had his mind on the job and collected all 5 flowers, Chris.
Yes! It shows the importance, Xand, of staying focused while you're working in a hazardous environment. Now, we've seen how important the work is of Ian and the maintenance team in keeping the building looking great and working well.
But you know what, Chris? Even you didn't do a perfect job. I think work like this is definitely best left to the experts. Thanks very much, Ian. We had a brilliant day.
Thanks,
Cheers.
guys. Your safety card is in your seat pocket. Please take it out and study it.
Passengers should keep their seatbelt fastened at all times.
It is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown.
If the cabin air supply fails, oxygen masks will fall from the panel above you.
Pull a mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally.
Life jackets are located under your seat.
Inflate it by pulling on this toggle or blowing into this tube.
Finally, all passengers should note the location of their nearest emergency exit.
All cabin crew have intensive training and are able to deal with medical emergencies.
Every year we refresh our knowledge. We are, throughout the year, expected to have that knowledge at a set level because we need to act on it at any time.
And they do. Cabin crew assist with around 44,000 in-flight medical emergencies worldwide every year.
We've seen just how important the work of cabin crew is in keeping you safe in the air.
But in our time as cabin crew, will we be high flyers or will we never get off the ground?
It's time for us to go head-to-head as cabin crew.
I want to see how well you deliver that safety demonstration. I want to see how well you deal with medical scenarios. And thirdly, I need to see how well you cope under pressure. Are you ready?
We're ready.
We're ready. Where did you get that?
You've got to do the tie a nice tight knot, and then you just pull the cord.
Xand's up first. No pressure. The flight looks full today.
There is the safety card in your seat pocket. It describes the brace position, your seat belt. If you have any questions about it, you can ask a member of the crew.
Off to a flying start, Xand. Now it's my turn.
In the unlikely event of cabin depressurization, oxygen masks will fall from the ceiling.
Life jackets are located in and around your seat.
I think we're breezing through it, Chris.
The exits weren't pointed out, so no one knows where those exits
Everyone
are.
fasten your seat belts.
Oh dear.
With the safety briefing over,
Can I get you anything to drink?
Yes.
the next test should be more up our street.
Oh, excuse me, I've really hurt my shoulder.
Do you mind letting this lady out?
Ooh, moving the passenger, Chris. Is that a good idea?
Ideally, I'd sit you down. There'd normally be a little crew seat.
Can I have some water, please, with ice and lemon?
I'm looking after this patient. I can't deal with that man's request, so I'm going to ignore it for the time being.
I hope you're not cracking, Chris.
OK, I wasn't expecting to have to use a sling.
I can see that. When was the last time you put a sling on someone, Chris?
It's not really holding my arm up.
It might have been a while ago, Xand. How are you going to deal with the situation then?
Why don't you sit there, try and support your arm with your other arm, and I'm going to get the medical kit.
It's really hurting. Can you hurry up?
Hop to it, your patient's waiting.
Excuse me.
So what I'm going to do, I'm just helping this lady, I'm sorry.
Good prioritisation skills there.
The most important thing, I think, if we keep it still, that will help with the pain. Feeling a bit more comfortable now?
That's a bit better, thank you.
Cabin crew prepare for landing. The challenge is over.
I'm so glad that's over. I could use a cup of tea.
It's time for the verdict.
How did we do, Chris?
So the first area was the safety demo. With that, you both didn't point out the exits. Really, really important.
How did we not do that?
Secondly, the medical incident.
Surely we've got this in the bag.
Our lady, she'd broken her arm. One of you dealt with the situation in the cabin, another took her away. Moving her will hurt her even more.
After all, Chris, you are on a moving aircraft.
And thirdly, staying calm under pressure. Dr. Chris, I think you're a little bit flustered during the challenge. Dr. Xand got the impression that you were in control and there was an air of calmness going on.
So, Chris, what's the verdict?
It was very close. Dr. Xand.
Yes! You know, Xand, I think what we've really learned today is how important cabin crew are for keeping you safe in the air, and that it is most definitely a job best left to the professionals. We should hand our places back.
Chris, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Right, Chris, we've landed. Let's go get our luggage. Wonder where we are.
Each tooth is given a specific number according to where it is in the mouth. Any milk teeth that you still have will be given a letter.
And what kind of common problems are you looking for?
I'm looking to make sure that you're brushing properly and that there isn't any decay in your teeth. Xand's done very well and he doesn't have any.
Very impressive, Xand.
Before we're let loose on today's Takeover challenge, we need a masterclass. But I've no idea who we're going to practice on.
We use something very special. We use a phantom head.
A phantom head?
Oh, come on, Xand. Really? The phantom, or model head, is used by students to practice doing fillings. You start by putting in a suction tube to remove any extra saliva so the patient doesn't choke.
Next, you use the drill. Cool. Attaching the drill bit with a steady hand.
There you go.
Clicks in.
Then we're going to imagine that this tooth has a little bit of decay in it. And so we're going to cut a little teeny tiny hole.
In goes the filling.
We're going to use a white filling material called composite.
Which is set hard using an ultraviolet light. Wow.
So we cover it so that it doesn't hurt our eyes. And then if you touch it, it's gone completely hard.
Amazing.
Thanks, Anita.
We've seen just how important dentists are for keeping your oral health in tip-top condition.
But will we be able to brush up on our skills enough to make our careers as dentists sparkle? Come on.
It's time for us to take over as dentists.
Your challenge is to perform a filling on the phantom head. The first part is to remove the decay and the second part is to put the filling in. I'll be judging you on your professionalism, your technique and how well you make it look like a real tooth at the end.
You know what, Chris? I've really got this challenge. Anita thinks my teeth look great, and now that I've overcome my fear of the phantom heads, there's really nothing to worry about.
Oh, you've overcome your fear, have you?
Yes,
Well,
I
this won't bother you at all.
Come on, Chris. It's time to get our teeth into this.
No problem. First of all, we get out the drill, put that right in. Okay.
That's very good.
Hello, sir or madam. Drill. Oop. That was...
Whoa!
Okay.
Health and safety, Xand.
Before you take your eye out and press
Oh,
the back
perfect.
goes in and it locks it.
So, first big mistake.
So you've got to lock the drill bit into the handpiece. It can fly out and then that could hurt somebody.
It's a bit nerve-wracking because it looks so much like a real tooth. I kind of don't want to drill into it.
I'm drilling already.
What about the suction, Smarty Pants?
So he's forgotten to turn his suction on.
That's embarrassing.
So if it was a real patient, they'd be gurgling.
I'd focus on yourself rather than me, Xand.
Oh, he's got his hands in the patient's eyes. We don't do that usually.
Come on, slow coach. I've moved on to filling.
Right behind you. I had to use quite a lot, and I think I may have drilled out a little too much tooth.
Oh, Xand.
I mean, it's very clear now why people have to train for years and years how to do this.
Just need to set it with the UV light.
Probably enough.
And, right, thanks very much, sir, or madam. You can go on your way.
Well, I think I'm done. A satisfied customer. You can close your mouth now.
Not sure he's impressed. Fingers crossed Anita is.
Time for the verdict.
Anita, how did we do?
Well, you both tried really hard.
That's not good. That is not good.
On for the professionalism, Xand, you did put your fingers in the patient's eyes.
I was needing a place to rest my hand.
Technique-wise, Xand did take a bit more tooth off than we normally would. For the final product, actually, you were both not too bad.
So what's the verdict?
Chris.
Oh! I guess I wasn't expecting to lose.
What, because you'd had such a good time?
I'd begun to believe that I had become a dentist.
Well, Xand, you may have felt like a real dentist, but you're not a real dentist. That is job most certainly best left to the professionals.
Anita, I think you better have our coats back.
Fabulous.
Richard runs us through the equipment used, like the special shoes called mud pans.
As we walk out, they spread out to ease us through the mud and stop us sinking.
So it's like a snowshoe for mud?
Exactly. Also, we use these two stretchers. We will drag this behind us to assist the person that we're going to rescue out of the mud.
If someone's stuck in the mud, do you just pull them out?
No, we've got 3 ways of releasing them, either physically digging them out with one of those trenching tools or with this lance.
The lance fires out water or air to loosen the mud and free the person who's stuck.
You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Ah!
We've seen just how important the work of the Coast Guard is in rescuing people from danger around Britain's coasts.
But when it comes to us having a go at the job, will it all be plain sailing? Or will we be a couple of stick in the muds? Get it? Like we're stuck in the mud? That's the... OK. It's time for us to take over as Coast Guards.
So your challenge today is you're actually going to go on the mud, get dirty and do a proper mud rescue. You're going to go with one of our other team members, Scott, and we're going to go and rescue another team member, Sophie.
And what are you going to judge us on?
The first one is how well you go across the mud, hopefully not falling over into the mud, how you get them out using the equipment and reassuring them as you come back, making sure they're OK.
I think the hardest bit is going to be not getting at all muddy. And fortunately, I have a secret weapon. Baby wipes.
No time for your beauty regime now, Xand. This is an emergency situation.
We're coming, Sophie!
Off you go then, Chris. Don't get stuck in the mud.
Oh, his walking technique's fine. The thing is to keep moving but keep at a steady pace. It's not a race.
You OK?
I'm okay.
Got out there nice and quickly.
How you feeling?
I'm okay.
See how well they dig Sophie out.
It's really thick and sticky.
Come on, Chris, get your hands dirty. Let's see how Chris does using the lance.
So you got one leg out? They're doing really well.
I'll give you a hand there.
Once on the stretcher, Sophie can be winched to safety. But Chris, don't forget to keep her calm.
This is exhausting.
Chris?
I should really be talking to Sophie. Sophie, how are you doing?
I'm feeling okay, thanks.
Better late than never. Now she's safely on the shore, it's my turn. Here we go.
Come on then, Xandi. Let's see what you're made of.
This is very, very hard.
Told you.
How are you doing? You okay? Are you injured at all?
Good reassurance, Xand. She knows you're coming to help.
I'm completely out of breath.
Oh, he's moaning a little bit, isn't he? Let's just see.
You're completely stuck, aren't you?
Completely stuck.
All right, well, we'll get you out. Done that.
Tired already, Xand? That's not good.
Oh, there we go. Wow! Whoa, brilliant.
Sam's doing really well, actually.
You feeling good?
Making her feel safe.
Okay, now my problem now is that I'm stuck.
Oh dear, Xand. Have you got a sinking feeling?
So we almost had 2 casualties then, Sophie and Xand.
You all right, Doc? Yeah, I'm all right. Right. I'm all right, just about. It's good that you're keeping an eye on me as well.
Xand, they're not supposed to be looking after you too. Are you going to make it back to shore?
That is the hardest walking I've ever done.
It's time for the verdicts. Sophie, patient care, how did we do?
I think it has to go to Xand.
Yes! What? Really? I'm very reassuring.
Scott, in terms of patient extraction, how did we do?
I think it was definitely Chris.
What? Now, hang on.
Chris didn't get stuck.
So it's 1-1. Richard, how's our technique on the mud?
Both keeping at a steady pace until, unfortunately, you got stuck. So my final vote has to go with Chris.
Oh, yes. Well, Xand, I may have won, but I think what we've really learned today is just how important and challenging the work of Her Majesty's Coast Guard Mud Rescue Team really is.
And it's definitely a job that is best left to the professionals. Richard, have our hats back.
Thanks, guys.
We're about to take over the job of today's heroes, Executive Chef Simon and Restaurant Supervisor Donna.
They're on the front line at Alderhay Hospital Restaurant, where they serve around 500 meals a day to patients, their families and staff.
Pleasure.
This is different to a normal restaurant in that people who are in a hospital usually have something to worry about or some problem. That's why they've come.
Sometimes parents are looking to get away from the bedside. In the restaurant, it's a friendly face for them to speak to.
And what about the serving food? Do you get any tricky situations there?
Yeah, some people have allergies. It could be a life or death situation with the allergy.
So the stakes are quite high?
Stakes are high.
That was good, that was good. To find out what makes a good canteen worker, we need to talk to some customers. So Ruby, you've been coming to the Alderhay canteen for how many years now?
8.
So you know this canteen pretty well?
Yeah. I think it's nice that they want to know about me and make me a little bit better.
Kira, have you got any tips?
You gotta be nice to the people.
What do you think would be the worst thing that we could do?
Maybe set the place on fire.
Who do you think's more likely to do that, me or Chris?
You.
What?
Because you're all crazy.
Thanks, Ruby and Kira.
We've learned just how important the hospital canteen is for patients and their families.
But will our attempts to be hospital servers go as well as fish goes with chips? Or will we make a real dog's dinner out of it? Get it? Good, eh? Get it? It's time for us to take over as canteen workers.
Your takeover challenge today is you're going to serve the special, which is a hot salad with chicken and bacon.
Sounds like a piece of cake.
No, it's a hot chicken and bacon salad.
What? Oh.
Here we go.
First, Simon gives us a quick demonstration on the best way to serve our salads.
We're putting 6 pieces of chicken.
We're going to be judged on
portion size,
speed,
and customer communication. Don't forget to ask about allergies.
The 2 allergens that we have in this meal here is we have mustard in the dressing and we have gluten in the croutons.
OK, cool.
How's that?
That looks fantastic. Donna and Simon will be checking our every move. The key to a good hot salad, Chris, is showmanship. People want flair, excitement, speed. I might try and set it on fire.
No, Xand, the key to a good salad is hygiene. Get your finger out of your ear. Disgusting.
Xand's up first.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
And who are you with?
This is my son, William.
Hey, William. Are you allergic to anything?
No.
Good communication, Xand. You remembered the allergies.
Now, how does it look, William? Does it look edible?
That's great, thank you very much. You've done a good job.
Done very well. That was his first salad. Portion size was slightly out.
Look, I hope your lad does well with this operation. I'm sure he will.
Xand's speeding through it.
Yeah, he's done it really fast, really well. It looks good and really full, so I'm happy with it.
Here we go, right. How am I doing tossing the salad? Does that look right?
We hopefully kept it in the bowl.
Oh dear. I'm sure I'll do better than that.
Well, go on then, Chris. It's your turn.
Do you have any allergies? No.
Great communication, Chris.
Bit of tomato, bit of this lettuce, cucumber.
He's doing fine, he's picking it up, but he's doing a little bit too much chatting.
She's got a point.
Okay, so we can give 6 pieces of chicken. 1, 2, 3.
Speed up. We haven't got all day.
You got any allergies?
None that I know of.
Lots of onion? Got no meetings this afternoon?
Just a few.
Uh-oh, time's up.
There was a spare one.
Put the food down, Xand. We're ready for the verdict.
I think overall you both did very, very well. Portion size. Xand, you wasn't as good on the portion size. The reason being is that when you start to shake your salad, a little bit landed on the floor. It was like he was doing a dance behind the counter.
I wanted to put on a bit of a show, to be honest. I felt like
People don't want shows on, they want salad.
Speed-wise, unfortunately, Chris, you was quite slow.
But one person done too much chatting. And the winner of the challenge is...
For Simon, it's a draw, but the clear winner for Donna is Dr. Xand.
Way! Well, well done, Xand, on a narrow victory. But I think what we both learned today is just what an important job the hospital catering department does.
And I think, to be honest, we should leave it to the professionals. Thank you very much. I wonder if there's any salad left. Ouch. So we're going to be lifeguards later. What do we need to know?
So big one is communicating. We'd use the whistle. One short whistle blast gets the attention of a bather. 2 short whistle blasts. I need to talk to another member of my lifeguard team, get their attention for something in the pool. And then 3 short whistle blasts. I might need to go in and do a rescue and I need to tell everybody that's where I'm going.
Can I have a green whistle?
If you like, yes.
Well, thank goodness for that. Next tip, use a really high chair to get a brilliant view.
The lifeguards are constantly watching the pool. We use scanning patterns as well, so we might do a side-to-side motion, they might do up and down the pool, constantly changing the way they're doing things to keep themselves aware.
And finally, for more serious cases, use the really important rescue board to help get casualties out of the water safely.
We're really worried more about spinal injury, so by having them on a board, we've got them supported and we can strap them so they don't move anymore. We're not going to make that injury any worse.
The lifeguards secure the straps gently but tightly around the casualty to prevent causing more injury.
Thanks, Donna. There's a lot to remember. We've seen how important the lifeguards are at keeping us safe while we're swimming and how they respond to emergencies.
But how will Chris and I do when we're thrown in the deep end? Get it? Get it? It's time for us to take over as lifeguards. Our challenge is to spot if someone's in danger. Use the correct whistle signals to alert the other lifeguards to help. And use the rescue board to get a swimmer with a suspected spinal injury out of the water quickly and safely.
Xand, have you got a handle on the different whistle signals?
Go on, test me. It's lunchtime.
This could be embarrassing. With extra poolside lifeguards on hand to keep swimmers safe, Donna will be judging our every move and picking a winner.
Chris, you're up first. Lifeguard Kieran is pretending to be an injured swimmer. Will Chris spot him?
You got the right number of whistles on that one.
3 whistles means he's on his way in. What are you doing now, Chris?
So I almost strapped Sam to the board. Sam's just one of the lifeguards helping, not the patient.
Sorry, Sam. Beginner's error, hey, Donna?
Head strap's a little bit slow.
Uh-oh, quicker, Chris.
He's not doing too well at the moment.
Oh, dear. You need a strong finish here, Chris. What do you think, Donna?
These are a little bit on the loose side.
Bit loose, really.
Bit loose, these are really loose.
Oh, really?
Well, that's not good. Time to move aside, Chris, and watch how the master does it.
Yeah, right. Your turn. Here comes our fake casualty. Have you seen him, Xand? Xand? Xand!
Oh.
2 whistles to get the other lifeguard's attention.
He spotted him, he's given the right signals.
And another 3 to say he's on his way.
He's run right past the board.
Oh, Xand.
That's not good.
He's quickly got this chest strap on, and now he's going for the head strap. Really jerking those straps into place now.
Whoa there, careful.
Oh.
This is going to be a tight contest.
Time to see who came out on top.
A few things from both of you. Chris, you started off really well. It all fell apart a little bit when you got the board in, though. And then when we lifted out, the straps were quite loose. But Xand, it was a little bit the other way around for you. The guy was face down in the water for quite a while before you reacted. You ran right past the board and had to come back for it. But putting it in didn't go too badly. So your verdict for today, guys? It's a draw.
A draw? We were both equally amazing.
Yes, or equally rubbish.
We learned a lot today, but I would say that overall, Donna, it is best if we leave it to the experts. Xand, let's hand our whistles back.